Dear students, on advanced manufacturing processes, we have already covered Unit 1 and Unit 2 with the possible questions. Today, we are taking up Unit 4 of the same subject. The headline of the subject is CNC Machine Tools. This is your teacher DPM sir taking the class. Now this Unit 4 on CNC Machine Tools will have 4 questions. Question 3, Question 4, Question 5 and Question 6. We have already covered Question 1 and 2 in Unit 1 and 2. The question 3 says, write down the basic components of a CNC machine tool and what are the differences between NC and CNC machine. The question 4 says, what is /R, servo motor, stepper motor, cutter radius compensation, closed loop and open loop control system, and recirculating ball screw. Question 5 is, what is point-to-point control, contour control, absolute coordinate system and incremental coordinate system? And question 6 is, what are the advantages and disadvantages of CNC machine tools? Now we will go to the next slide. The next slide says, it repeats the question 3. Write down the basic components of CNC machine tools and what are the differences between NC and CNC machine. Now, the CNC machine tools are basically consisting of the machine control unit, the machine tool, the drive units and servo controls, the feedback devices. These are the major units of a CNC machine. Let us go one by one. The basic components of a CNC machine tools are machine control unit, machine tool, the drive units and servo controls and feedback devices. So what is the MCU or a machine control unit? All the principal operative functions of the machine tool, like the movement of the cutting tool, change of tools for different operations, application of proper speeds and feeds, and many other operations or functions are controlled by this MCU only. The machine control unit is actually the brain of the machine which controls all the activities of the CNC machine. The second unit is the machine tool. What is a machine tool? It is actually a principal manufacturing arm of the CNC system. It receives the raw materials and performs different machining operations over it in accordance with the instructions conveyed by the MCU. So MCU is giving the instructions and machine tool will receive the raw material and perform the different operations as per the instruction given by MCU over the job. The next is the drive units and servo controls. Drive units of NC machines are servo motors, stepper motors, hydraulic motors, gear trains, transducers, ball screws, etc. All these units taken together as a group are called servo controls. And the other one is the feedback devices, because most of the machines will have closed loop system And in closed system, the system contains the monitoring device to ensure the position of the machine tool slides truly in conformity with that desired by the MCU. Whatever the MCU has dictated about the position of the machine tool slides or the machine tool cutting tools, the feedback devices gives that position continuously back to the MCU so that it can ensure the conformity of the executed movements. Then we have a question on the difference of MC and CNC machines. The MC machines are hardware systems employing integrated circuits permanently arranged on PCBs. It's a very simple definition. Like any other numerically controlled machinery, this also has got all the electronic circuits which actually perform, and integrated circuits which perform the different operations. The difference between CNC and MC is that the CNC machine has additionally got its individual computer, or we can say a dedicated computer, and the functions for controlling are done by the software program of the computer. There is a software program installed in the computer which actually runs the machine. In MC machine, it works with an imported system from outside, that means through a cassette or a pen drive, and follows that program. There is no dedicated computer for the MC machine. Now I have given a write-up here from your class notes only on the computer CNC machines and its details. You can study this for your own knowledge. So I will not go into this. You can stop the slide and study this here. Now we go to question number 4. Question number 4 says, what is or are subprogram, CAN cycle, do loop, encoder, recirculating ball screw, closed loop, open loop control, tool offset, color compensation, servo motor and stepper motor. Actually, the CNC machines, we say that the CNC machines are very costly. Why they are costly? They are costly because the entire mechanical systems are completely different than that of a conventional machine. The conventional machine has got screws which are friction glides, and in case of a CNC machine, they are all ball screws. In conventional machines, they are straightforward motors, induction motors or DC motors which control the movement. In CNC machines, there are servo motors and stepper motors. So we will go one by one into this definition. What is a subprogram and a subroutine? A subprogram is a separate program meant for a specific machine task. It is a time-saving device which can be separately developed and debugged. It is stored in the machine control unit memory along with the main program. It starts with M98 and finishes with M99. CAN cycle. CAN cycle is also a predetermined set of operations, and it is controlled by G codes which are from G81 to G89, and it is a preset sequence of events executed by a single command. Now in G84, if you say, it goes for tapping auto cycle. G80 is used to cancel the auto cycle. Do loop. These are used to perform repetitive operations for multiple turning, and the same statements can be used number of times using do loop. Encoders are recorders of movement of a shaft or distance traveled by a cutter or tool. It records only, like the mile meter of a car. It's like an encoder only. It records the speed of the vehicle, and also at the same time it records the cumulative distance traveled by the vehicle. Ball screws is one of the very important elements in CNC machine construction. A ball screw is a mechanical or linear actuator that translates rotational motion to linear motion with little friction. A threaded shaft provides the helical raceway for ball bearings, which act as a precision screw, as well as being able to apply or withstand high thrust loads. We can do so with minimum internal friction. The normal machines, they have all friction drives with nuts and screws, and friction cannot be uniform everywhere, we all know that. So because the friction is less somewhere and it's more somewhere, so the machine movements are not smooth in conventional machines. In CNC machines, it is practically a frictionless drive or a rolling friction drive. In normal machines there are sliding friction drives, and the movements are smoother, and that is why the finish of the items machined in CNC machines are also better. Now here it says that they are made to close tolerances and are therefore suitable. The ball screws are made to close tolerances and are therefore suitable for use in situations in which high precision is necessary. The ball assembly acts as a nut, which while the threaded shaft is a screw. In contrast to conventional lead screws, ball screws tend to be rather bulky due to the need to have a mechanism of the recirculating balls. The balls recirculated within the nut itself. Now, you will know that in the Google Classroom, I have provided a video from which you can understand the movement of the ball screws. Now this is a closed loop control system. As I said, that the MCQ receives the feedback of the output through a sensor, and the error is fed back to the controller. The controller, which is the MCQ, they actually change the conditions of operating and control the output continuously so that they are within the upper control and lower control limits. This is an open loop control system which I do not have to explain anything. It goes in a straight line and there is no feedback taken, and it continuously goes on a line with the risk that anytime the system might go above the upper control limit or was below the lower control limit. Tool and cutter compensation. The word offset refers to the allowance made by the CNC machine for the diameter and length of the tool to cut the job. Tool offsets are set of values that move the center point of the cutter to the correct position for cutting a workpiece using a specific tool. Look at this figure. You see, if this is a milling cutter, the machine, the CNC machine control unit will take the center of the cutter. That means, but actual cutting action takes place at the paint field. So the distance, half the radius of the cutter is the offset that is required, which is to be embedded in the program, and the cutting action will take in the right position. Then we come to servo motors. Servo motors are actuators, linear or rotary, and allows for precise, angular and linear positions. It is coupled to a sensor for positional feedback. These motors are fitted with brakes for accurate positioning and avoiding any overrun. You cannot allow any overrun in CNC machines because one operation after the other goes on a continuous basis without any interference or without any involvement from the operator side. Stable motors are DC motors that move in discrete states, like indexing. You have learned in a gear manufacturing. This makes discrete movement. The servo motor moves continuously. The stepper motor moves in discrete states. There are multiple coils organized in groups called phases. By energizing each phase, in sequence, the motor will rotate one step at a time. We come to question number 5 of Unit 4. What is point-to-point control system, contour control system, absolute coordinate system, and incremental coordinate system? Now, point-to-point control, you take a drilling machine. A drilling machine drills at one point, goes to a distance, and drills another point. The job remains stationary in this case. This type of system is a point-to-point system. But when we are cutting with a milling cutter or cutting a radius with a milling cutter, with the help of a milling cutter, radius or a curve, here the jaw also has to move with respect to the tool. So when the jaw rotates with respect to the tool, we have the contouring system of cutter. It says depending on whether the machine cuts metal while workpiece moves relative to the tool. If it moves relative to the tool, we get the contouring. Now incremental or absolute. Incremental, as we discussed in our various classes, that incremental is on a progressive basis. You come to a point x1 and then you add the dimensions for x2 from x1 only. So x2 is measured from x1 only. And in an absolute system, whether it is x2 or x1, the distances are measured from the origin. So all the coordinates are measured from the origin. It is called absolute system. And if it is measured from progressively from one point to the other, it is called the incremental system. So question number 6 is, what are the advantages and disadvantages of a CNC machine tool? Very important, huh? The advantages of a CNC machine tool. CNC machines offer the following advantages in manufacturing: higher flexibility. This is essentially because of programmability, program control, and facilities for multiple operations in one machining center. Increased productivity due to low cycle time achieved through higher material removal rates and low setup times achieved by faster tool positioning, changing, automated material handling, etc. Improved quality due to accurate part dimensions and excellent surface finish that can be achieved due to precision motion control and improved thermal control by automatic control of the coolant flow. The coolant flow can be varied also. It can be a flooded coolant, it can be medium flow, it can be a less flow. So this also can be controlled, which is not there in conventional machines. Reduce scrap rate. Use of part programs were developed using optimization procedures. If you have to cut from a plate several pieces, the pieces are optimized in such a way that the maximum amount of components can be cut out of a certain plate. Reliable and safe operation, advanced engineering practices for design and manufacturing, automated monitoring, improved maintenance, and low human interaction. These are reliability and smaller footprint due to the fact that several machines are fused into one, so your number of operators will reduce drastically. On the other hand, the main disadvantages of the NC system are relatively higher cost compared to manual versions. It is very, very costly compared to the normal machines, conventional machines, but you are getting so much out of it. More complicated maintenance due to complex nature of the technologies. Since we are using embedded systems in integrated circuit, ball screws, servo motors, servo systems. The maintenance is complicated, and one must be ready with replacement parts so that it can immediately, like a separated circuit board, so that it can be changed immediately and the machine can be put back into operation. Need for skilled part programmers. You see, you need to have programmers because there is no operator in CNC machine, there are only programmers. There is no drawing to be studied. The drawing is broken into programs and fed to the machine, and the machine does the job. So you need, in place of a operator, you need skilled part programmers. The above disadvantages indicate that the CNC machine can be gainfully employed only when the required product quality and average volume of production demanding. So no one should jump into a conclusion of going into a CNC machine without judging that really you want that product quality that is assured by the CNC machine, or you need the volume of production. Because the CNC machine is a very hungry machine. It can finish 1 week's job in one shift, 1 week's job of a conventional machine, I am generally speaking, in 1 week. So you have to calculate that you have enough of load so that you can keep the machine for throughout the week or throughout the month. I think we have come to the end of Unit 4, which is CNC machine tools. If you study this, I think you will be able to answer the questions that will come from this particular unit. If one unit is only left, which I have actually taken classes, is the Unit 5, which is actually part programming. That we will cover with a separate lecture. Wish you all the best. Thank you.